All right, guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. Manchester United 1, Watford 0. We're outside Old Trafford. How you feeling, Dave?
A bit disappointed. It's the end of the season, man. What am I going to do for the next 3 months?
Moan about England.
Moan about England.
Get a suntan.
Check out all the United players that are playing internationals.
Catch up on the million rumours. Transfer rumours.
Enjoy my weekend in London when we win the FA Cup next weekend.
So there's a few things we can do.
There's a few things we can do, yeah. Could have been a bit better today. Jose was dressed a bit casually, and the players were playing a bit casually. Some flashes of brilliance off some people, not so good off others. I don't know, what can I tell you?
Typical end of season game today, wasn't it?
Well, you know, there's nothing to play for, is there? But, you know, Jose plays the way Jose plays, and if we're winning, we come second in the league, but we're not really excited, are we? You know, like Liverpool supporters are probably excited and have enjoyed the season, even though they've come fourth, because they're playing exciting football. And all right, they win some, they lose, lost enough that we were above them in the season, but they've had an exciting season. We haven't really had an exciting season, have we? Have we? Have you been excited today, or?
I've hardly been excited, and I think that's ultimately, like, you know, when Jose arrived, I kind of knew what to expect, and I can take results against bigger sides playing in a certain way, but against other sides, I didn't expect him to be like that, and that's the area where I think he needs to fix up on. For example, at home, against Sevilla, against West Brom, do we need to play two holding midfielders? It's those kind of things that I'm worried about, but like your question was, have I been excited this season? Not many times. No. Palace and Man City.
Not many times, yeah. And it seems like, you know, as soon as the opposition score a goal, they get a bit motivated. Back in the day, United came out onto the pitch, they're on fire. When they walk out onto the pitch, they're ready to go. Now, they knock it about, they don't really seem to get going, you know. I had a buddy who used to manage a first division team before the Premier League, and he reckoned his players thought they're getting paid to play at 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. This is when every game was 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. They're getting paid to play once a week at 3 o'clock. The rest of the week is their own. And I think some of these guys, you know, it's a similar thing. You're paying me to play on Saturday or whatever, whenever the game is, and the rest of the time, I mean, what are they doing the rest of the time? I don't know what the training is or what the psychology is or but they don't seem to be motivated to come out on the pitch and be in top gear from minute one.
How do we turn second place to first place next season?
You've got to come out onto the pitch in top gear rather than in second or third gear, and then have to step it up when you start losing. I said prior to the game, you know, if you look at an Olympic level athlete, that guy is getting out of bed for 4 years, and he's not really having a day off. He's training for 4 years. Then he gets on the track at the Olympics and he's got one shot.
Does his hammy?
10 seconds, whatever. But he's on it for 4 years. You think these guys are like that? I sense possibly not. They might be concentrating on the hairdos and the fashion and all the rest of the stuff. They're not doing what an Olympic athlete does. And an Olympic athlete is the one person. You know, how many of the players on the pitch today are in the top 10 in the world? Individual players. You know, think about that one. Not very many, if any. So we need 11 guys on the pitch with a higher proportion of them being the top 10 or the top 20 in the world. If you haven't got guys like that on the pitch here, one of the biggest teams in the world, where are they? Why aren't they here? You know, Sanchez, the guy's like supposed to be, you know, flashes of brilliance, and he tries, but he's not really producing anything. Pogba, the same, flashes of brilliance. They're not producing anything. They're not Olympic level athletes. They're not 24/7, 365 days a year for 4 years to train up, to get out on that pitch and do it. And all right, you've got to do it every week. So what? you know,
Consistency is what we need, yeah?
consistency, yeah. But you've got to get the world-class player. You've got to be in the top 10. None of them are in the top 10.
Cheers, man.
I'll see you.